Hello everyone and welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Sincerely hope everybody is doing amazingly well today. Welcome one and all, whether this is the first time you have ever clicked onto a video or whether you are returning. Welcome, welcome. Today we have a very special reading. We are going to be finding out and channeling what magic is going to bloom in your life. So as always, we have three piles. The first pile has a beautiful little white candle. Second pile has a pink candle. Third pile has a lavender candle. So as always, take as much time as you need. If you need to go ahead and pause the video, that is totally fine. The more aligned you are with your own soul and your own intuition, the more these readings resonate. As always, the timestamps will be down below in a link. And as a general disclaimer, whatever resonates is wonderful, and whatever doesn't resonate, don't even worry about it. If the first pile doesn't resonate, feel free to choose another pile. If none of them resonate, then maybe the messages aren't for you today, but feel free to check in with us another time for more messages. Let's get right into the reading and put this aside for now. So if you chose pile 1, then you chose the beautiful white candle here. And of course, your reading is what magic is going to bloom for you in your life? What are you on the precipice of? Something wonderful. So we're going to start off with Oracle, move on to some tarot a little bit later on for some clarity. Let's get right into your reading. You've got Spaceship, don't be afraid to sing. That's beautiful. You've got some mermaids there. Rocket Ship, 43 or 7 if you put them together. Wonderful. And you've got Cupcake, the body positive card, 23 or 5. Very cute. You've got the 2 of Autumn here. Bring fun into everything you do, juggling multiple priorities or jobs. An exceptional talent for multitasking. Wonderful. So let's see. So you got the Swords energy there, and then you've got the 7 of Winter, the 7 of Pentacles here. There is a better choice, not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. And then you have Make No Judgments here. So what is about to bloom for you, pile 1? Let's see. Well, there seems to be an opportunity here, a way in which you can move in one direction or another. And this seems to be a theme for you in general. It's more of a perception, really, and a choice of a different perception. And it's a very humanistic thing to do. There's a sort of a very practical side to you, and there's sort of a very elated side to you too, sort of the very intuitive side. And you've been moving into a different version of self and wanting to bring in new opportunities and feeling as though new things are coming in. That's very much in the collective energy, stepping up, doing something different, coming out of your comfort zone if you feel safe enough. No point in forcing it. Anything that's forced at the moment really isn't going to pan out. This is all about intuition. And you have this excellent sense of intuition. However, if things aren't panning out for you, if you put your energy into something, you tend to you tend to worry that it's not the right thing. And then you tend to get a little bit hard on yourself, which again is very humanistic. It's a perfectly reasonable thing to do. However, this is almost like a test for you in this blossoming phase that you have going on here. Regardless of what's going on in your life, hold the faith. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that say, you know, frequency, high frequency, keep the frequency high. It's not really necessarily about keeping your frequency high, however, pile 1. It's about keeping your mentality in a space of, I know it's going to be okay. It's totally fine to have your dips. It's totally fine to have your ups and your downs, and to really embrace the downs because they can absolutely tell us something. So for you, it's not really about frequency. It's more about no matter what's going on in the external, you have faith, you know it's going to be okay. Now this perception shifts everything. Again, this is not about vibration. Allow your vibration to go anywhere it needs to be. You don't need to be forcing yourself to be in a high vibration or being up when you don't feel as though, you know, you are up. If you're confused and you don't know why things are working out, that's fine. Lean into that energy. This shift in perception is very subtle, but it's going to change everything and allow this blooming opportunities that are coming in for you to come in for you. So again, all you need to do is lean into this understanding that no matter what, everything is working out for your highest good, and keep that faith. It's not about frequency. You've absolutely got this. When it comes down to the practicality of things, you absolutely know that you can move in any direction. You also have a very clear vision about what it is that you want. You didn't necessarily know before. You were trying things on, putting things down. So you're also at that point where you are ready to sort of be out there and go, da-da. I mean, you are ready to sing. You've been holding yourself back, not necessarily because you're not ready to be integrated into the world. It's just that you didn't know how you wanted to be integrated into the world. You didn't know what you wanted to be known for exactly. And this is something that you've been figuring out. And there's just slight different twists on this. You have a great idea about the bigger picture, but how you work in that bigger picture and the specifics of it, you've been working out. And this is something that's just been, you know, baby steps, figuring this out, figuring that, you know, it's just walking down the path, perfectly natural. Now you are ready. You've got this clear vision of what it is that you want to do. And this is a long-term vision as well as a short-term vision. In the past, you've gone short-term, or you've had a long-term vision and you didn't know how to implement it short-term, or you've had a short-term vision and you weren't really thinking long-term. You've got everything together. You absolutely know that you can do short-term, long-term. You're clear on what you want. You just have to step up and ask the universe. And when you do ask the universe, this is so important, Pal One, stay the faith. Keep the faith. No matter what your vibration is, know that everything is working out for your highest good. It's absolutely going to be okay. Everything that you are right now is more than enough to bring in these blessings that you are asking for, especially now that you've got this outlook, this clarity of what it is that you want to do. Now, it's very easy to micromanage the situation when you put yourself out there and you said, you know, universe, this is what I want, and you're watching the energy that comes back to you. Oh, this, you know, I thought this was going to work out, but it didn't, you know, and then you make a judgment on that. I thought this was going to work out. It didn't. And now I'm wondering if everything else is going to work out. I'm doubting everything. I don't know if I'm moving fast enough. I don't know. You know, it's very easy to do that and this go into this sort of spiral of concern, right? But you don't need to worry about the small details. Keep focused on the clarity of what it is that you want, knowing that you are implementing everything at the right time. Listen to your intuition. Now, we're not going to suggest in any way, shape, or form that this is not a difficult thing to do. It's one of the hardest things to do, to keep the faith and remain in this surrendering mode while you are moving forward. While you're waiting for the universe, you're waiting to see how this is all going to end up. And of course, it requires a large amount of faith. So we understand that what we're asking from you is not a small thing. However, you're absolutely ready to be able to do this. And this is just a small tweak in perception that shifts everything and allows everything to blossom. Now, when we say allowing everything to blossom, many different opportunities are coming in and things are happening for your highest good, which means that what you've asked for, you know, may be multiplied in many ways. So keep the faith. Your prayers are being heard. You've absolutely got this. Now let's go ahead. I want to choose one more of these cards. So bear with us for a second. But also, you are taking care of business on a day-to-day level. Everything that you've asked for, you're not like not putting in the work and saying, you know, where are my payoffs? You're doing what you need to do. We would say you're hustling, but you're not. But, you know, you've got that energy of moving, darting, doing what you need to do. Yeah, love yourself. And loving yourself comes down again to having complete total faith in who you are and where you are. And again, being honest about where you are. It's not about the vibration for you. It's about honoring where you are and keeping in that faith and surrendering mode. When you have those dark moments where you're like, all right, I can't keep my frequency up. I'm in the mire right now. I'm in the darkness. These moments of doubt are going to teach you something. Allow them in. Remember, this is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Ask what those moments have in store for you. Ask exactly what the message is, what you need to learn from the situation. Don't fake it till you make it. That's not going to work for you with this vibration. Just honor where you are. As long as you keep the faith, you're going to keep that container intact, that container of trust intact. And that's how the universe is going to help you. And keep that faith in all of the work that you've done. Maybe it won't quite have the payoff that you're looking for on paper, but it's working for you behind the scenes in ways you could not possibly imagine, and bringing back a return that you could not possibly have foreseen. So maybe let go of what you think your efforts should be looking like as they get returned to you, and just put them out into the universe and surrender how they get taken and integrated into the external. Let's go ahead and get you some tarot and get you some more messages. But this is absolutely beautiful. You are on the precipice of blooming. And again, we want to say that all the effort that you have put in, the fact that you are willing to go outside of your comfort zone and do this work, this has not gone unnoticed. So trust that the energy that you're pouring into your life right now will have a return. And chances are that return is going to be a lot larger than you expected. So keep the faith. Remain open and surrender to this beautiful outcome, which could go in many different directions, but it's going to be beautiful. And you will see a return on all the effort that you've put out there in many different ways. It's a glorious time for you. Just keep that faith. Let's go in the middle here for this Two of Swords. You've got the Four of Pentacles. You're doing your work. You've got the Sun. Love that energy. And you've got the Five of Cups. Again, keeping that faith. Yeah, and you're moving into the Seven of Pentacles here too, and you've got the Four of Cups. So this is all about the balance of emotion here. Again, this is just solidifying what we already said. The outcome is guaranteed. It's absolutely bright and it's brilliant. Now, it's bright in a way, again, that you will never be able to figure out. The universe is working for you in a significant way, which means that if the return isn't immediate, it means something higher is coming in for you. All of your efforts are returning to you. It's coming back in certain ways. It's very important for you to focus on what's working right now instead of what isn't working, because what is working can be made as a platform, and from there you can jump off and you can do more things. But if you're concentrating on what isn't working, then you're not acknowledging that the universe is working behind the scenes for you and doing all of this work for you that you may not be able to see right now, but it's absolutely happening. So don't focus on what you cannot control, which right now is pretty much everything, right? But keep the faith. And when you do feel yourself sort of going into these dark moments, allow them to happen. But again, do this in the aura, the atmosphere of complete faith and surrender. And again, focusing on what works. Remember, you've got that clarity of vision. You're ready for this. And the most important thing is that you've cleared everything out. You've cleared out all the mire. So your energy is absolutely ready to move forward. So it's just a matter of how you move forward, to what degree, and to what kind of success you want. Now, right now, not everything is coming back to you. So you can't figure out exactly how things are going to work out. But in a couple of months, in a couple of weeks, even in a couple of days, again, keep that perception really crystal clear. And in that way, the universe is able to connect with you a lot quicker. This is all about that tweak in perception. Let's get you just a few more tarot cards. But you've got the Sun. You've got that energy coming in. It's all around you. That's a guaranteed energy in and around you. Yeah, you've got that Two of Pentacles too. You have the Two of Swords, making that decision, being able to balance. And you've got that here. You've got absolutely here. So it's not exactly necessarily that you're not seeing things clearly. It's just that there is a better way to step into this energy for you by focusing on the positive. And again, it's a little tweak in perception. Everything else that you've done, all the energy that you put yourself out there, it's absolutely going to have a return. And you know how to hustle. You know how to balance. You know what to do. You've been intuitive. You've been instinctive. You've been very clear about who you are and what you want to do in the world. So let the universe do its job. It's up to the universe right now. You know, you've done your part. Your part is now maintaining this energy of surrender and allowing the blossoming to happen. You've already blossomed enough for all of this to take place. You've got the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune can move in any direction. You know, a 180 here and a 180 there. So it's up to you. It's absolutely up to you to really notice the accumulation of everything that you've done, how everything up until this point has fallen into place. In small ways, yes, but in significant ways. So you're asking for a bigger payoff. That's totally normal. That's totally natural. Remember, you've got that firm foundation of the smaller payoffs to go from. Whatever this is. Now, this is a general reading, so this is going to go in different directions for each and every one of you. For some of you, you're looking for a new relationship. For some of you, you're looking to be integrated into the world in what you do for a living, a little bit differently. For you, for some of you, it's the way in which you step up within your spirituality that is slightly different. That's going to sort of be reflective and change every part of your life. This is all slightly different for each and every one of you, but there's a significant shift happening for you. And you've been working to the edge of this shift for many, many months. For some of you, many, many years. So hold out now. You do sense that things are different. You do sense that you cannot go back. And you also sense that sometimes when you've put out old energy, that it gets dissipated quicker, and you get the idea that you're moving through things a lot quicker. You understand that the timelines are quicker now. You can get onto a timeline, you can move through the timelines. All of this is quicker for you. So this energy of blossoming can be immediate if you keep that sense of return. We all know that you're waiting for that sense of return, and you're going to get it. Again, this is aligned with your higher self. Check in with your higher self all the time, and do not be afraid to say to the universe, don't leave me hanging here, universe. Do not leave me hanging. I've done all this work. I deserve to know what's going on. Show me my next baby step. Give me some help here. Show me some physical help. Absolutely have that clear communication with the universe. This is not a time for you to go it alone. This is a time for you to absolutely team up with the universe in a new way. And remember, everything that you've done in the past has led you to this point. So you've been doing this work on the interior, on your, within, without. You've been doing a lot of work on the exterior. You've been doing a lot of energy work in general, and also sorting through the sort of things that don't work for you anymore, what you do want versus what you don't want. Now, what you've asked for might be significant, and that's fine. Again, the universe does not differentiate between asking for $1 and asking for 1 million. We're the ones that differentiate between it. So whatever you've asked for, it may seem significant, but you're absolutely in line to get it. You're in line for that return. So keep the faith, keep that surrendering energy, and regardless of your frequency, it really doesn't matter. Allow your vibration to dip if it needs to. That's fine. In those moments of honoring, when your energy dips or your vibration dips and you're really confused and you don't know what to do, that's the time to reach out and keep into that surrendering moment. In that moment, you can pull in whatever it is that you want. This is up to you to keep those perceptions open. And remember, concentrate on what's going right. And even if things that you've put out and it's not getting the return that you're expecting, trust that everything's happening in the external in a way that you can't necessarily check up on, but they're happening in more dramatic and beautiful ways, in ways that you could not really oversee. The universe is working for you. You've absolutely got this. So those are the messages that we have for you today, Pile 1. Absolutely keep the faith. And as regards to blossoming, there's many different opportunities for you coming in. It's a matter of which ones you choose. So there wasn't specifics about the energy, the blossoming energy that was coming in of those opportunities, but there are many of them. And it's just a matter of how you get there and allowing in the blossoming. So again, keep the faith, keep that tweak in perception. Really make that decision to stay in the positive. And again, it doesn't matter about your vibration. Staying in the positive just means that you're focusing on what's working, what you're doing right. Don't worry about the things that are falling away. Absolutely. And honor your vibration no matter what. Being authentic is all part of you integrating back into this world, the way that you want to be seen, or the way that you want to be heard, the way that you want to show up in the world. So keep in that authenticity. We can't always be at that high vibration, and we don't need to be in that high vibration because that's just a one note. We don't need to be high vibe all the time. Just honor where you are and it will all work out. So that's what we have for you, Pile 1, sending you so much love, light and beauty for exactly who you are and where you are. Keep the faith. It's all going to happen. So feel free to subscribe if you're interested and hit that bell icon. And we have lots of interesting things, a new podcast coming out soon. So links are all down below. Stay in touch. Come back and see us again. We'd love to read for you again. Take care, Pile 1. Bye-bye. Okay, beautiful Pile 2s. If you chose the pink candle, then this is your reading. And again, we are reading for you what magic is going to bloom and blossom in your life. What magic is going to bloom. So we're going to start off with our oracle, move on for a little extra clarity with the tarot a little later on. Let's get right into your reading. Shine your light. Beautiful message to start off with. And then we have the Prince of Autumn here. You've got some swords energy, dependable, protective, chivalrous, humorous, cautious but wise action, meticulous detail, attention to detail, kindness to others. So you've got some knight action there. And then you've got the Princess of Spring. Beautiful energy here. You've got some magical wands energy, optimistic, enthusiastic, creative, energetic. It's time to go after your dreams. Yes, do something that expands your horizons. Let your creativity take flight. Absolutely. And you've got 1,000 deeper understanding. You've got 18 or 9. And then you've got Evil Queen. You deserve sugar, not salt. Absolutely. What's waiting to bloom for you now, Pile 2? Let's tell you what that is. It's you. You're ready to bloom. You are ready to really step up in your life. And when we say this, let's be very, very specific. This little crooked OCD coming in here. All right. So you are absolutely ready to bloom. Here's Mildred. She is coming in to say hello. Kitty cat. You are absolutely ready to bloom. You have come to this situation. Now, there's a little bit of coming to the situation sort of organically, where you've consciously worked through things, you've healed things. And again, healing is just about working through trauma. Nobody gets through this life without trauma, and being able to see the totality of who you are and the gloriousness of who you are. It's not a case that we're not already complete, just to be clear. But you've done all of this sort of organic process of clearing out and reassessing and all of that healing. But you've gotten to this point where you're absolute, and it's a beautiful place to be. You've gotten to this point where, with all of the work that you've done, you've reached this plateau where you're saying to the universe and you're saying to yourself, which of course is one and the same, I'm not going to let any of anything that I don't deserve, right? I don't want anything that I don't deserve. I deserve great things. I deserve great things. There's this energy of like profound sort of deservedness here. And in that exclamation, the universe is celebrating with you, because they've always felt that way. But, you know, you've put yourself into situations before. You're very much a giver. You're open to suggestions, but you're open to other people's energy. And in the past, you've worked through this, so we're not even going to stay here too long, but you've had a little bit of a martyr energy to you, and this is fairly common with light workers, etc., where you're willing to do the work for other people. You're willing to take on the nastiness, the darkness for somebody else because you see their potential. And that's absolutely wonderful. It's a beautiful thing to do. However, we all understand how that goes. So this is something that you've worked through. And this is also the reason why we do this and we step up into the martyr mode. And a lot of us do this. It's because, of course, we're the ones that need healing. And you've done that. You've realized that. You've been able to sort of step away from that and say, all right, this is where somebody's energy begins and this is where mine ends. I'm not doing this anymore. You've been very clear about the sort of people that you're having in your life, initiating those boundaries, which at the beginning were not very easy for you. They were not very easy for you. It was tied up with a lot of emotion, a lot of soul contracts. So you've come full circle, pal, you've come full circle. Now, this is not about the external and what's happening in your external life right now. We will get into that. But right now, this is about this profound energy of stepping up and saying, I know I deserve more. I know, and I am ready for more. Now, in this moment, everything shifts. Everything falls into alignment with you acknowledging that. Because the universe can only give us what it is that we feel like we deserve, right? It's very, very simple. If we feel as though we deserve the stars will be bestowed upon us. If we feel as though we deserve this, that, and the other, that's exactly what we're going to get. That is the nature of life. And this is something, as a human, we grasp, and yet we still don't work on. So, and it's not as though consciously we're sitting there going, oh, I don't deserve much. Please let everything mess up. Please. And obviously we're not doing that. But on a subconscious level, we tend to sabotage ourselves because deep down, we have not really figured out how precious we are and how beautiful we are and how precious our voice and our individual, unique, authentic energy is in this universe to be able to be infused and integrated into the fabric of the universe as a whole. So, we're coming in as, we're all one. We're told that. Yeah, absolutely, we're all one. But we all come in with certain gifts. We're also unique and, individually defined in order to bring in something new. And the more that we integrate, the more that the fabric of the earth can be shifted in different ways. But it's all about how much you want to be integrated. And most of that is, 99.9 of that is you stepping up saying, I want more and I deserve more and I'm ready for more. And this is something that you have done. And this has been a long time coming, pal, too. This is a long time coming with you blooming. This is all about your subconscious coming to the top. Now, a lot of you have been through, especially recently, I mean, in the last 2 years, we've all been through something. I mean, regardless of what boat you've been in, right? Everybody has different boats. We've all been through the same storm globally, one way or another, regardless of how you thought and what you did and how you were affected. But this is more than just the 2 years. The 2 years put extra pressure on this, but this was really about you digging deep, absolutely digging deep into every layer and fabric of you and really figuring out that subconscious. So some of you, especially in the last 8 months, or between the last 2 years and the last 8 months, even 3 months, have this darkness that's come up. And a lot of you have been wondering, why is this darkness coming up? Is it coming up again? And will I ever get out of this? Here's the thing. The darkness came up because that was your subconscious, right? Everything, especially in the last 2 years, 18 months, 6 months, has been your subconscious coming up. So while for some of you, you've been a little bit worried, I'm going into the same patterns again, or am I, or nothing's really shifting. The great news was, and maybe you didn't get to see it, is that all of the darkness was there, right? Now, when our darkness is subconscious, it sabotages us because we cannot see it and we cannot be responsible for it. We're sort of on this weird sense of autopilot, and all of a sudden things don't turn up the way that we want to, and things don't work out the way that we want to because we're sabotaging ourselves. And this is a very humanistic thing to do. We all do it. And if we're not aware of it, then we can't change it. So a lot of what's going on is subconscious. But for you, what you've been doing is you've been drudging up, you've been dragging up that subconscious. So all of this stuff that you've been working through, you've been filtering through this information. And the good news was that none of anything that you have right now is subconscious. You're very aware. So when you have this inkling of, all right, I'm feeling a little darkness right now, it's not subconscious, it's right there. So everything that you've been bringing up, you've been moving through this energy. And there could have been a lot of ups and downs and, you know, left and right and this, that, and the other. And oh my goodness, confusion, especially confusion. Oh, I'm going through this again. It was just different layers of the onion, but all of your subconscious was dragged up and dragged up. I was going to say drugged up, but that sounds weird. It was dragged up. So it was a very positive thing, right? Now you see everything. You've actually worked through your subconscious. Nothing is really hidden from you anymore. And this is an exciting place to be in. And honestly, it sort of sets you apart from many people because, again, most of us are programmed from the subconscious and we're just sort of on sort of autopilot. And, you know, even people who are extremely aware in spirituality can still get caught up with the subconscious because they're still working from old paradigms that are still very much in the subconscious. So bringing everything up and drudging everything up is a huge deal, and it's not easy to do, and it's a process. Because as you drudge things up, you can't really figure out how it's going to work. So sometimes you can feel very overwhelmed by all this energy that's coming up at the same time. But then you know that you have to take time to move through it. This is not something that's an easy thing to do, and it's not something that happens overnight. So this has been a process for you that really started 2 years ago. Now, there's been elements of it that's been going on for like 8 years, 5 years, but it really started 2 years ago where you couldn't move away from it. You absolutely had to face it. You know, you couldn't run from it anymore. There was something in your subconscious that just said, or your consciousness that said, we're ready. We're going to do this. There was a click where it said, we're going to bring up everything from the subconscious. We're going to look at it. It's not going to be easy, but when we get out on the other side of this, the world is our oyster. And this is what we need to do in order to move forward and go get your dreams, because your dreams are not small. They're pretty big. They've been planted from past lives. You know that you're going to achieve them one way or another. And also with everything that you've been through, you wanted to shine your light in the way that you wanted to do it. Let's get you some more clarity and let's get you some more information. So this has been a long time coming. And again, this process has been meticulous. You've been going through this, the layers of the onion, and when something's done, you think it's done. It might come back in a more intense way, but then it really finally does leave, and you get that clarity, and then something else, you go through something else. This has been quite a process. Now, you have a beautiful sense of humor, a gorgeous dark sense of humor, you know, but at times things were a little bit dark, right? And you've taken yourself quite seriously through this because it's been a serious process, right? So this is time to sort of enlighten up, as we say here on Unicorn Light Tarot. Come back to that lightness now, because you're coming to that other side of it where you can really see the wood for the trees now, and the payoff is coming. Now this happened in Pile 1, but this is very different energy to Pile 1. But knowing what you deserve, coupled with the energy that you've been working on, the subconscious, bringing light to all of the subconscious and bringing air and energy to the subconscious, so it's not hanging out there, you know, in the darkness anymore. Both these energies fused together brings you at a new plateau in your life. It's very exciting. So you've got the Hanged One here, the Hanged Man and the Queen of Swords. So you've got the Swords energy here. And this is about shining your truth and being able to bring your very specific sort of soul contracts, a very specific energy and knowledge and wisdom into this world. And again, there might have been this energy where you felt as though you should be moving forward, but there was more work to do, and it didn't feel as though, you know, you were moving forward the way in which you wanted to. But things, you're on a timeline now. It's going to shift, it's going to change. And again, for those of you who lost your sense of humor just a little bit because you were just getting windswept every time something was done or you thought it was done, you know, that old energy came back and you were like, what the F, you know, what the F? Again, it was layers of the onion going through this subconscious energy. So there was a sort of a way in which that energy was dictated to how it wanted to be healed, right? As it came up, it could have been quite overwhelming, but then again, you had to go through the layers of the onion until the onion you'd gotten to the middle of the onion. And this is what you do in the subconscious. And then you're free to sort of move in any direction that you want to. And of course, the possibilities are already out there. You've been working on the possibilities. You've sown the seeds for what you want. Now you've decided that you're worthy to go get them. So something, again, activated in that beautiful subconscious. So for those of you who have been like, I can't catch a breath, I can't catch a breath, I feel positive, I do feel as though things are different, I do feel as though things are shifting. However, I'm not really seeing it on the external, and my goodness, can I just get rid of this old crap already? This is the reason why. But this is very important work. It's life-changing work. This is the work we need to do in order to get through it. And incidentally, this is the work that you do with other people in the world. Again, general reading, it'll be different for each and every one of you across the board, but this is what you're able to do. You're able to go in deep and dark and pull out that stuff in a very safe container for people. So when people work with you, and there's various different ways of working with you, just being in and around your energy can be working, right? Working for them. But this is an incredible energy to have to move forward. There is some energy about moving forward, so keep the faith. Again, we said this with pile 1, keep the faith. It does feel as though you've been in one motion for a while, because this really needs to be done. It was an important factor. If you moved off before all the psychological or the hidden stuff or the subconscious was not organized, was not sort of activated or reactivated and then released, then, you know, these opportunities coming in, they wouldn't have been stable for you, you know. So this is something that you've got to do, and this is something that you've been doing. You've got that King of Pentacles energy, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, all that hidden being released, and then the Knight of Swords. Love this energy. You've got this movement forward. You've got this real direction and this connection to your inner truth. Now, your inner truth might look a little bit different to everybody else's. That's just kind of the way it is. But it might even look different to the sort of the status quo in spirituality, because a lot of those things are really falling away right now because they're still part of the old paradigm. We've moved into a new paradigm. So the wisdom that you're bringing in is sort of this wisdom that we need, right? And it doesn't necessarily need to be, you know, acknowledged by everybody, or it doesn't necessarily need to be, you know, accepted by absolutely everybody. It's totally fine, because, you know, the way in which you think, it's all going to be proved. It's all going to work out. It's all going to be seen for what it is. But a lot of people are still working in the 3D paradigms, or one foot in the 5D, one foot in the 3D. But again, it's not about sort of this ascension process, this obsession with ascension. It's about bringing 5D to the 3D. We're here to have a human experience, right? And to be very, very grounded and honest with our energy and the programs that we have. This is what you've been doing. You've been doing this the right way. It's not an easy way. You know, we've got a lot of energy like in the 5D, but not grounded into the 3D. So it gets a little woo-woo, you know, and then, you know, the energy can go off in different directions because it's not grounded in any way, and just sort of be and fall into old paradigms and not realize that that's what's going on. But you have done this the right way. Whatever's hidden has been revealed, and also within what's being revealed is also not only is your subconscious being revealed so you can work through it, but also your talents and your wisdom. Now, you may have had an inkling of what that is, but you've gotten to get really deep with that, and you've gotten to make that real connection with your talents and your wisdom, which of course what's going to be infused into the fabric of society in this lifetime, and this is what you're doing. So you being on your path, you achieving what you're here to do, you shining your light in such a way, you developing your own version of success, the way in which you want to, you stepping into your version of authenticity with incredible truth, incredible truth. Truth that we need at this time. And the world is ready. There's a divine timing element to this too. But yeah, you were absolutely activated 2 years, 18 months ago to do this work. And again, this is work that you can do for other people, whether you voluntarily or actively do it, or whether you're just in and around people. People will be activated safely to be able to do this work. It's very deep work. It's not for the faint-hearted. And a lot of people don't do this work, even in spirituality, right? They don't do this work. This is deep, dark work. But it's very, very necessary. And having that safe container that you've given yourself, right, to be able to do this is absolutely wonderful. Now again, we just want to reiterate again for a little extra support. For those of you who have been really confused about all this energy coming up, it is dissipating, it is moving through, you are moving through it. The layers of the onion for the subconscious can be deep sometimes, but you do get through it. You will be able to release into that energy. A lot of you are feeling like you're coming onto the precipice of something more, something different. You can feel it. The darkness, the heaviness pulls you back a little bit, but it's not as much as before. You can feel coming out of the quicksand, out of the mire. You can feel like there's sun on the other side of that. Remember, if you can, this is the time to enlighten up. Bring in that childlike energy, that elemental energy. Come back to that sense of humor. Try not to take things too seriously right now. As you were going through this process, of course you took things seriously. It was deep, dark work, right? But try to come back to that sense of humor, because that sense of humor and that lightness is going to allow in these new opportunities coming in, because you are blooming and you're blossoming. And these new opportunities, because you're on the verge of moving into something much bigger and better, which will not be held back in any way, shape or form. We want to be clear about that. Any way, shape or form from your subconscious. So keeping that lightness around you right now, and again, that faith and surrender that we talked about in Pile 1, keeping that energy right now, first of all, is going to clear out the last remnants that you have of the psychology that you have of the really deep, dark subconscious. It's going to clear that out because you're on the verge of that leaving and moving into something new. And second of all, it's going to leave you open to these opportunities, which you're now free to take. Also, remember, you're the one that said, you deserve sugar, not salt. You do. You're the one that said to the universe, I deserve more. So this comes down to this knowing of what it is that you deserve. So keep that faith. At the end of the day, you know you deserve absolutely all the jewels in the world, every ounce of success that you've asked for. And you know what, Pile 2? You worked for it. You've steadily worked for it. You didn't sit there, and just say, I want this, and you didn't work for it. Why isn't this happening for me? And yet not putting any effort into it. You were the exact opposite. You've actually put so much effort into it, maybe overthinking things, maybe over-energizing things. But you have done this, so you've put in the work, you've done the deep, dark work. Let the universe do its work now. But enlighten up, come back to that sense of humor, come back to that lightness. And really focus on the energy of what was hidden before. Not necessarily what was coming up from the subconscious, but the gifts and the honoring that you have of yourself, the honoring of your wisdom that came in with this process that you just went through. Let's go ahead and get you a couple more tarot. Feel as though that maybe there's one more message for you. You've got the Seven of Wands here. And a lot of Wands energy. Yeah, just keep the faith with this. It's so important for you. And hopefully there's a little bit more clarity around what you've been going through. Because for a lot of you, it's been a cycle. And it's been a cycle of confusion. And you've been fighting within yourself saying, I thought we had done this. I thought we had done this. We're never going to get out of this. And it's been that cycle. And that's absolutely not true. And also you've got this in common slightly with Pile 1. When you put out energy and it's not come back the way in which you wanted to. You've wondered, are you on the, are you doing things right? Is this really working? Now it is. All of the energy that you're putting out there is really working, but you were concentrated on the psychological part, on bringing up and working through the subconscious. It was very important for you to finish that process first before you quote unquote take off in the world, because it wouldn't have given you this firm foundation for you to enjoy it. So, but don't think for a second that the universe has not been working. in the background for you. They've been working, and all of your energy that you've been working through. You may not be able to see tangible results just yet, but you can feel the vibration of things working. You can feel the vibration of everything working out, that everything's going to be okay. You can feel that. Don't fight with yourself. Allow this all to happen. If before, these new opportunities start coming in, if there's just a little bit of flux energy, a little bit of the old coming up, just honor it. It's going to leave. You're on the other side of this process now. It's been a long, hard process, but you're on the other side of it. So keep the faith. Don't you dare turn against yourself at this point. It's not time to do that. You've come so far. Yeah, you've got the High Priestess. This is your end game. And with the High Priestess card, you can go in any direction with all of these opportunities, with this very strong, firm understanding of who you are, your wisdom. You're clear from, you've got this clear landing strip now, as you're a plane and you're taking off, because you've done everything in your subconscious to bring it up. Nothing is going to prevent that landing, or nothing's going to prevent you taking off. And this is about bringing your authenticity and your magic back the way in which you want to, without repercussions, without looking over your shoulder and wondering what's going to happen, if there's going to be any repercussions, or people aren't going to like you, or people aren't going to understand you. All of these misconceptions, all of this is going to leave for you now, because those are all subconscious energies of not feeling secure within yourself. Now that these are all up, it really doesn't matter what other people think. You have this newfound freedom, which allows you to do whatever you want. It's very profound. It's also extremely mysterious and attractive to most people, because a lot of people aren't working on this level. They're not willing to do the work, or they don't know how to do the work, or they think they're doing the work, but they're really not doing the work, right? And that's no fault to anyone else. It's no fault to them. Everybody's doing the best that they possibly can, but you have the tools and the inclination to be able to do this and dig deep. So this is a wonderful time for you. And again, as a general reading, the opportunities that are coming in for you, again, like Pile 1, will be different for each and every one of you. But the most important thing to focus on, that you will be free to take these opportunities and make them exactly what you want, and have that life, sculpt that life that you've been looking for, without a shadow of a doubt. And this is all coming in for you. This is what's blooming and blossoming for you. So that's what we have for you, Pile 2, sending you so much love and light for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining us today. Feel free to subscribe if you have not already, and hit that bell icon. And again, we've got a bunch of stuff going on. Links are down below. Unicorn School of Light. We've got a new podcast coming out soon. So any extra resources, feel free to check them out. A lot of them are free down below. Until we meet again, go be you. Keep the faith. You've absolutely got this, Pile 2. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3. Last but not least, if you chose this beautiful lavender candle, then this is your reading. And again, we are finding out what magic is going to bloom in your life. What are you on the precipice of? Something amazing. We're going to start with our beautiful oracle cards, and then we're going to move on to tarot for a little extra clarity later on. Let's get right into your reading. Sword, make the change. That reminds me of the Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson song that just came up in my head. Snacks 30, release judgments around food. A little extra tidbit for you there. You've got ego here, the illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, getting caught up in fear and worry. Okay, and then you've got the 10 of Wands here. Ask for help from others, all work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. And then you've got choose friends wisely. All right, Pile 3. So you're in a position now to put yourself first and make these changes that you need to in your life right now and move forward. Now, you've absolutely got the passion to be able to do this. It feels as though for a lot of you, it's been sort of back up against the wall a little bit. Life has been showing you some stuff, and it's been head above water, trying to figure things out. And, there's been a lot of balancing too, sort of in the interior and the exterior of your world, and figuring things out. And also it's an energy of not necessarily ego per se, but it's an energy of trusting what you want, trusting yourself, and wanting to do things for yourself. This is a very individual energy reading. This is about pulling your power back to yourself. Now, of course, you are the universe. You're one and the same. So when we say back to yourself, we're saying, you know, the energy and connection that you have with the universe, of course, is primary. But this is about really realizing that nobody else is going to give you happiness. You're going to have to do this yourself. That it's not about other people helping you out necessarily. It's about you stepping up in your own power and doing this. This is all about you coming back into your own power and understanding that you make things happen, right? So this is about you standing on your own 2 feet. And you might feel a little bit wobbly as you start doing this, but it's standing on your own 2 feet and understanding that you had the power all along. So for some of you, you've given away your power with friends, or, you know, and we say in life, and it's absolutely true, it takes a village. It absolutely takes a village for us to feel connected, and for us to get the help that we need and get the support and all of that. And this is something that you've totally understood. But in that village kind of aspect, there was just you standing in the middle of it. And there was this energy of you, and it could have been sort of subconscious to a little degree, but there was an energy that you didn't really have the pure strength to be able to do this yourself. It really was just the universe, or it really was this person helping you out, or it really was this, that, and the other. And the truth is, you had the power all along. The universe is you, and the universe helps you out because of your strength. So this is you coming back to this profound sense of self, of knowing how powerful you are, knowing how powerful your individual energy is, and how it can go out there and sort of shape the world. This is sort of like a really, this is a shift in perception, but it's not a small shift in perception. This is realizing that you made things happen all along. When you go back through your life, you give people too much credit in a way about, you know, you helped me out with this, and all of those can be facts, absolute facts, right? But because like you've asked for help in the past and you've gotten it, and that's absolutely wonderful. You're also very difficult about asking for help too. This has been very, very difficult for you to ask for help. But when you have, you've gotten that help, and it's been absolutely incredible. But then you've said to yourself, well, I succeeded because I got that help, right? I couldn't do it alone. And then somebody helped me. And so I didn't do it alone. And somehow that sort of seeped into your subconscious a little bit, that the power was outside of you, and it wasn't really, it was happening to you, but not for you. And somewhere along the line, you just got this little inkling of just sort of let go a little bit of your power, and you didn't realize that, yeah, people can help you. That's fine. Again, it takes a village. But even if people help you, they're helping the core values. They're helping the core values that are you. You're still the one stepping up, making things happen, right? So there was this thing for you before, and you've had this about asking for help because you should be able to do this alone. But even when you did ask for help and you did get it, you still felt as though it wasn't enough. You weren't doing enough. Now you've had to ask for help, and now you really can't do this. You know, you can't do life on your own. You need help. My goodness, whatever. You're so hard on yourself, pile 3. So there was just a slight difference in how you saw yourself. There was just a sort of a loss of respect a little bit for yourself. You were very harsh on yourself, and you put yourself in a catch-22 situation where you could not win, where if you did this alone and you didn't ask for help, then you were cutting yourself off from resources. But when you did ask for help, then you were hard on yourself for taking that help, saying, oh my God, I couldn't do this alone. I must be useless. I mean, you literally set yourself up for sort of failing one way or another, no matter how you did things, because you're so hard on yourself. What you did not realize is, as a foundational measure, you are infinite, you are brilliant. Whether you do this yourself, or you rely on the universe, or whether you take physical help from people, it doesn't matter. You're the one still making things happen. You're the one that had the power all along. Whether you took the help or not, the help is inconsequential. It's wonderful. Whoever wanted to give you help wanted to give you help. They wanted to be there for you. It's a two-way street. They wanted to be there. They want to see you succeed. So this is about your shift in perception, about stepping up and saying, I am worthy of success. And the only person who has taken you out of the running of success is you. We're just going to do a little real talk here, pile 3. You're the one that labeled success in a very specific way and decided that, you know, what was successful for you and what didn't look like success for you. And the way in which you set it up is that you couldn't succeed, because whether you took help or you did things completely on your own, you still set it up where you didn't see yourself as a success. All of that is shifting. Everything's shifting around this energy of success anyway. It's not about how much you own or this, that, and the other. It's about the quality of life that you have. But again, you can't have that quality of life for yourself if you're constantly down on yourself, no matter what you choose. You put yourself in a position that no matter what you choose, you're going to feel lousy about yourself. And that's giving away your power. So this is not a passive reading in any way, shape, or form. This is a profound balance coming in, and, you know, at the forming, you know, of that balance, right at that core of that balance, it's you saying, I deserve whatever it is that I deserve. And it doesn't matter how I get it. It doesn't matter whether the universe helps me out, which of course is just you, or I get physical help from somebody like a member of the family or whoever you're looking for help from. It doesn't matter if I ask for help. I'm still worthy of it. I'm still strong. I still have that power. I don't need to do this alone. And this small tweak in perception really shifts how you feel about yourself, really shifts how you feel about material items and this version of success. It also shifts the energy of people coming into your life, with soul family connections coming in. It also shifts soul family or soul contract connections that you've had, that you may have cut the cords to, but are still sort of there because you're still in that mentality of I have to do this alone or I'm not enough, right? This energy of that I'm not enough because I've asked for help, we're not going to say it's ridiculous, but it is ridiculous. Nobody comes into, yes, we come into this life alone, and yes, we go out alone, absolutely, but we're here for connection. So allow yourself to be helped, and don't you dare feel bad about it. And also this balance of release judgments around food. For some of you, you know, because this energy is in and around you, it's been dark energy for you to kind of work through. You may have gone into, you know, not eating as well as you did before. Some of you may have been changing your diet. That's absolutely fine. Again, balance looks different for everybody. If you don't eat so well one day, eat a little bit better the next day. You don't need to go absolutely crazy and have this incredibly clean, wonderful diet. I mean, all of that is wonderful too, but you can, you know, make those mistakes, live your life. It's all fine. You know, your body can take it. Just make the best decision in that time. And if you didn't do so well one day, balance out the next day. You know, but listen to your body intuitively about what it is that it needs, instead of what you feel like it needs. You know, if you feel like you need pizza that night, go order it. Go do whatever you need to do. Just have that comfort. You don't need that extra stress on you right now. The balance, if we just get out of our own way, our mind, body, and soul in the physical balances itself out. It tells you what it wants you to eat, right? If we're going from an emotional state, sometimes it will tell you to eat when you don't need to, but you're not really working from that state. So a lot of you have just moved into a sort of a new situation. Some of you could have moved. There's a new balancing out of your energy, new job, something. This is maybe not for everyone. So as you're balancing out, that's another reason maybe not to be so focused on what you're eating. Just let it be a little bit. Let it be a little bit more open while you naturally balance out. And you absolutely will. If you know, if there's been an influx of energy, or there's been a flux in your energy field, or things are shifting and it's brand new, and wherever you are and it's a brand new situation, then obviously you're going to feel a little bit out of your element. So if there's a little bit more comfort food going on, that's fine. Again, just breathe through it. You're going to be fine. You know, it's not necessary to be consistent. You know, that line from Harold and Maude, you know, Maud says something about, you know, as humans, we're not the most consistent of creatures. That's fine. We can find that equilibrium many different ways. You don't have to be consistent every day with what you eat. Change it up. Do all sorts of different things. But again, Allow yourself to be where you are. You're going to naturally balance out. Don't stress yourself out by trying to balance, right? So if that's a message for some of you, then, you know, we're going to deliver that. That message for the snacks may not be for everyone. But you've absolutely got this. You really have. And for most of you, your health is looking good anyway. This energy that you're coming into and the shift in perception is definitely going to brighten up your aura. So that's wonderful. So this is a wonderful reading for moving forward on your own terms, and also really completely, totally understanding your power, where it lies, and also how power works in the world. So there's many different degrees to this, which is very interesting, because not only are you refigurating your own power and where you've given it away and how it exists in this world, but you're seeing how other people use their power in their ways and how structures are performed, a performative affair with power, and what true power really is. So there's many different layers to this in a significant way, and it's a very powerful movement that you're going through with this blossoming. So you've got this beautiful Nine of Pentacles here, and you've got the Emperor. Let's see what else you've got with the Ego. Yeah, you've got the Nine of Swords. This has not been easy for you to work through this energy. We're not suggesting that it is. Oh, I love this Page of Cups energy. And you've got the Seven of Cups energy. So this has not been easy for you. And also this mentality that you've come up with, that you cannot win no matter what, which is just the toughest mentality, really. You've set yourself up in that way, but you're coming to the other side of it. Is it's also made it very difficult for you to choose what it is that you want. And when you are you know, when you are sort of focused on what you think you want, and you're moving forward and things aren't taking off the way that you want to, you can be very hard on yourself, again, because you have this mentality of no matter what, it's not going to work out. No matter what, my power isn't there. So it's renegotiating that gives you a new version of the world, gives you a new foundation in the world, which is really, really important. And really tapping into your power in a new way. It gives you this sort of clarity of vision and this new connection with the universe, which of course, again, is yourself. So now you're coming into this energy of, I am powerful, and I did take help, and I do need help. And you know what? I'm going to ask the universe for help right now, and that's okay. I'm not taking help because I'm weak. I'm taking help because I know I'm not supposed to do this alone. See, there's a very different shift in perception here. Coming back to that energy, I deserve help. It's okay to ask for help. All of these should be your mantra. Asking for help or receiving help does not take away from my power, does not take away from the fact that I am brilliant and I am capable. Okay, so coming back to that, and everything that you want, you'll get a real clarity of vision. You're coming into this narrow focus, which is a good thing for you. This narrow focus of what it is that you want to do and what you want to achieve. It's coming into focus. You're really getting it. And on top of that, you're doing the work to secure it. So there's an energy of power that's coming back into clicking into your power, blooming, blossoming into your power in a way that you never have before. It's the divine masculine, the divine and divine feminine coming in for you in beautiful ways. Now, neither one of these energies need to be 50-50. Sometimes you'll be more divine feminine into this receptive energy of letting things in. And sometimes it'll be divine masculine with the action of moving forward, but with the closeness of the divine feminine, so you're moving forward with aligned action, right? You're not here to waste your time on things and spin your wheels and you know, do 15 steps when 3 steps would have gotten you there. You're all about efficiency, pile 3. You don't like wasting your time, right? So this is another reason why you wanted to get into this and really figure out your power, because you were spinning your wheels and wasting your time. And well, it wasn't a waste of your time, but you were spending a lot of energy, exerting energy for little results. And this is something that you want to shift and change. And you have the possibilities there. You have the opportunities coming in. The timelines are there. It's all about how you render your power. So in order to do that, you had to go back and strip your power back and see where the power was coming from, how you perceived your power, how you were using it, how you used it in the past, how you gave it away, how you reclaimed it, how you're not, how you're not going to give it away in the future, how badly you felt about yourself when you gave it away, when you accepted this help. And also this energy of, you know, putting out energy and expecting these immediate results sometimes, because you want that clarity of vision. You want somebody to tell you, you know, you've made the right decision, you've got this, and here's the payoff, right? Sometimes life doesn't work that way. You know, there's many different ways that we can go, many different avenues that we can go, many different payoffs that we have. And many of the payoffs come out of nowhere, and we never would have known that they were there. So it's just even the way in which you moved and integrated your power into whatever you wanted could have been confusing and brought back sort of a mixed bag of results. But now you are in this movement, this blossoming phase, which is absolutely gorgeous, where you've got your power and you're saying, I know I put out this energy and I'm releasing it to the universe. It's going to come back in a myriad of different ways. I need this help, and I'm not weak for taking this help, and this is exactly what I do. And even when you do ask for help, there's a part of you that feels as though you have to give up something, or this is how you felt. A part of though that you have to give up something. So, and it takes away from your confidence just a little bit. So you get a little bit wobbly. But you've been working through that and bringing back this power. You're never trapped. You're not trapped. It's just this ideology that you had you trapped, because you were damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's an impossible, it's like a stalemate situation that you yourself put yourself in there. However, you yourself put yourself into that situation so you yourself can bring yourself back out. So coming out of this illusion of what it is that you want, you're blessed with many different avenues that you can go in, because this can be very difficult for you to choose. So this clarity of vision coupled with this newfound sense of power that's coming from a real essence of power now, a really firm foundation from within and the external. As you move forward, you can start making things happen. So what's blossoming and blooming is you in a brand new way, and it can take you in any direction that you want. Now, the relationship with yourself and the universe, because again, you're one and the same, is going to shift and change. It's going to change dramatically. You're already probably in the process. If you're still here listening to this and this is resonating, you're probably already in the process of this change, and you should be coming out nearly on the other side of it. But there still could be some doubt. So hopefully this clarity, this macro vision of what's going on will give you a little bit more clarity as to what's going on, and you can really hone in on your power, do some meditation in and around your power and how you use it. And again, this understanding of the materialistic, what it is that you really want, that's also shifting with power, with your own shift in how you see power. And all of this is for a leveling up to go and get exactly what it is that you want. And again, these are personal readings, so each and every one of these opportunities is going to be different for each and every one of you. But like Paul too, you've been sowing the seeds. So, you know, a lot of you have gotten or starting to get very clear about what it is that you do want. So it's an incredible time for you, and it's an exciting time for you. It's a really, really exciting time for you. Let's see what we have for you. The Nine of Wands, I believe, came up in pile 2, and I believe this is pile 1. So again, you're good at juggling. You're good at juggling like different ways of doing things. You also have a whole spectrum of work that you've been working on. It's just, for some of you, it's a matter of putting out that work, right? And getting that recognition. But you are incredibly adept at like going out there and doing many different things at the same time, holding down maybe 2 jobs or 2 different ways of doing things. You know, the sort of the practical and the ethereal, you have both. So when you have your version of the truth, it's sort of very practical. There's nothing really woo-woo about you really, but everything's woo-woo about you. But there's nothing woo-woo about you in that way. The way in which you present it is extremely practical and brilliant. You know, a lot of you can have like science-based or, you know, biological minds and bringing all that energy in, and that's absolutely perfect. So you're ready to make things happen, and you're getting into that clarity of focus of what that's going to look like. The only thing that's held you back is you and your version of power. Let's get one more tarot for you. But this is time for you to move forward on a different path, on a different way to do this. It doesn't mean to say that you need to change what you thought you needed to do. But yeah, you got that Ace of Cups. Absolutely love that emotionality coming in. This is the depth of who you are. The cup runneth over. Bright success moving forward, knowing that you can claim it in every single way. Nothing is holding you back. That sense of power is there. And understanding your deep emotionality, not as weakness or this vulnerability that you have also as another layer. It provides you with this this incredible amount of empathy and humanity that we need in this world. And again, if you can just allow that energy of humanity to seep within you, and give yourself just a little bit of a break while you're going through this process of elimination, in a way, of eliminating what it is or releasing what it is that no longer works for you, this version of power specifically on many different levels that doesn't work for you, that has been holding you back. And again, there's many times where you thought, oh, this was going to shift for me, this was going to shift for you, and it didn't fall flat. Now that was, and it fell flat. That was an essence of divine timing. All of this you're worthy of, and it's going to happen. So some of it was a sense of divine timing, and some of it was a sense of this understanding of power not being good enough, not being powerful enough. But again, you're very resourceful. You have an incredible amount of power within, and the way you wield it is with utmost integrity. Utmost integrity. That's the one thing that we can say about you no matter what. You know, you would put yourself on the chopping block before anybody else. You would take that hit. You've got that martyr energy about you. But this is about allowing yourself to blossom in this way, to bloom in this way, allowing these new opportunities to come in, to keep the faith, to release into this new way of being, and to know that all of those seeds that you planted, that clarity of vision is going to bring in exactly what you want. So again, like we said, probably with pile 1, but definitely with pile 2, release, keep the faith, ask for help. It is not a weakness. You've absolutely got this. You're not supposed to do this alone. But again, reacquaint yourself with this new version of power, and your new opportunities are coming in for you. So my darling pile 3s, that's what we have for you. Sending you so much love and light for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. If you have not subscribed yet, come in for these deep psychological readings. Feel free to subscribe and hit that bell icon. And of course, we have tons of beautiful links down below, working and supporting within this energy. Everything is down below. If you feel as though you want to check it out, please do. New podcast episode coming out soon. Until we meet again, go be you, powerful, beautiful self, pile 3. Take care. Bye-bye.